Welcome everyone. We're your new MCs for So welcome to City Crew. We're so glad to see you all here. We know the weather's been crazy lately. It's sunny, rainy, pouring, cold when it's sunny. Just like basically. So we're all excited to see you here. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Grace.
And I'm a second year student here at SFSU. I'm majoring in communication studies. And also, interesting fact about me is I like cheese. Mozzarella, the one you make quesadilla.
Can't beat it. And again, I'm Grace. I'm a senior poli-sci major. And an interesting fact about me is until 2 months ago, I thought that pumpkins grew on trees. A pumpkin shrub, okay?
Yeah, or like pineapples, I thought they grew on trees.
I'm gonna go with that's a government conspiracy, and they do grow on trees. I don't know.
So anyways, welcome City Crew. We're a community of people learning to see what it looks like to follow people and follow Jesus in everyday life.
Here at Crew, we like to embrace 3 core values that are authenticity, transformation, and compassion. We like to ask serious questions in life, and we do that by building authentic communities and relationships with people to live out the crazy life that is San Francisco.
And to start off the night and get our blood pumping from this first week of school, we're going to start off with the icebreaker called rock, paper, scissors battle.
It's a gauntlet, okay guys? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a partner, you're going to introduce yourself, handy little name tags going on here, and you're going to play rock, paper, scissors. But nay, that is not all. You are going to do best 2 out of 3, and the winner of that best 2 out of 3 is going to go on to another winner, and it's just going to keep on going and going until one person wins. And we've upped the ante from last semester. And our prize is the biggest hug that you can get out of our leader, Caleb, in the back. It's a great hug. I love it. So, what you guys are going to do is go ahead and you get up, move your muscles, kinesthetics, all the good stuff. Winning if you lose, some of us will lose. This is democracy. What you're going to want to do is, if you lose, you're going to go for the person who has just beaten you. We are gracious individuals here. You're going to shout their name as loudly and obnoxiously as you possibly can. So, go ahead, pick your partner, battle it out.
want to stay connected with us, we have communication cards located on the seats where you just sat down. And if you want us to stay in contact with you, like notifying you for events, and like you can contact, you can fill this out and put your like phone number, Facebook, telegraph you, I don't know. Just
I'll even telegraph right there.
yeah, just write your name and turn it into whoever, Caleb, or in the back. Just put it in the back. Yeah.
Speaking of communication, we want to invite you guys to our first event of the semester. It's Games on the Green. So this one is going down at the West Campus Green. It's yonder. And what we're going to do is we're going to do cardio, more cardio. We're all about cardio. And we are going to play games like spike ball, frisbee, other games that are fun and stuff.
Kickball, always kickball.
Kickball, yes, of course. And we are going to have free pizza there. So what you're going to want to do is come to West Campus Green at 4 to 7 this Friday. Bring a friend, bring an appetite, and some sporty clothes.
Warm sporty clothes.
Extra credit for sweatbands, by the way. So,
And yeah, come to church with us if you're looking for a church or want to hang out with us some more. We go to Reality SF and we go on Sundays. The times are 9:30 a.m. at Everett Middle School, 10:30. Well, if you want to come early,
We have service.
evening service at the Lord's Park Church,
Sleep in.
located right by the Lord's Park. Yeah, keep in contact with us because sometimes people get fries or we're all taking uni. And yeah, grab coffee.
good things. All right, so we're going to go ahead and invite our friend up, Alexis, and she's going to talk to us about small groups.
Hi guys, I'm Alexis, and I am a 5th year. My major is fashion merchandising, so no grad school for me, which is nice. I work for this, I'm an intern for this organization group. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of explain small groups to you guys, what we're doing this semester. We believe that small groups is a place where like intimate relationships are grown, and it's really one of the key ways that you can really grow in your relationship with God and just in your spiritual journey in general. I remember my sophomore year, I joined a small group, and I stayed with that group of girls like throughout my whole college career, and it was incredible. Like I told them things that I had never told anyone before, and they like helped me through that, and they had so much grace for me and shared so much truth with me, and so yeah, we really value small groups here, and so that's kind of our goal for small groups this semester. And so right now what we're going to do is break up into what could potentially be the small groups right now, and have you guys just mingle and get to know one another and sign up for a small group if you would like to. And so what we're going to do is we're doing freshman co-ed small group. So can you raise your hand if you are leading that one? So there's Cameron, Bradley, and Julia. You can meet up with them, follow them, maybe you guys can meet up over here. And then how about sophomore girls? I will meet with you guys. Girls. We're doing upperclassmen boys plus the sophomore boys. So upperclassmen boys and sophomore boys. And so they are meeting with Christine Galato, this guy in the back here. And then upperclassmen girls will meet with Albiette. So we'll go ahead and break up into those small groups right now, and I'll give you about 5 minutes to just get to know one another. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Hi, Madison. Madison Albia. Nice to meet you. Let's do the makeup. Please. Oh wait, please stop. I'm not good at geometry. That was great. It's optimistic. We can stand in the circle. We can sit on the floor. We can sit on the floor. Are you guys okay with it?
Oh my gosh, we have like the biggest group.
That's awesome.
This is the first time ever. I'm usually the small one.
Do you want to say? Hey, so we're gonna do it. You want to say that? I'm gonna do it. Just go down. Okay, whatever you want. Whatever floats your boat. Awesome rolls. I don't know.
Oh, it's only gonna be 5 minutes. So if you want to sit down,
It's okay, 8 for us.
yeah. If you want to take a seat, you can take a seat. If not, you can stand there. Just whatever you want.
Usually,
Okay.
They stay with their freshmen that they like for their first year.
oh, sorry, girls.
They stay for all 4 years. Okay, cool. So my name's Albia. So I feel like I have me. So I'm actually not gonna be leading upperclassmen, but Jackie will be leading. So some of you are familiar with Jackie. So I'm stepping in for her today. I'm hoping to be a part of. So with the upperclassmen, we'll take turns leading. So pretty much what small groups are. Alexis covered a little bit. It's just a group of, I mean, as you can see, it's going to be upperclassmen, public 18, everybody now, all these kind of things. So we'll meet together one of the nights that we're available. My experience with just like small groups has been like, it's been one of the places where I can be myself and like just learn up with other girls as well and not have that girl talk. And like make those like relationships. Yeah, we also, it's pretty much like a mini Bible study as well. So what it looks like is we'll probably all meet together at somebody's house and just hold their we have some tea and some snacks. Have like a question of the day, like how's your day going? Maybe some high and lows, to check in with you. We get to meet every week or every other week, depending on everybody's availability. And yeah, so actually a question, and then we dig deeper. So the first meeting we will possibly go to like that. If you want to go over a book in the Bible, I don't know if you're interested. Open the Bible, or maybe a book about the Bible or about a certain topic. So really depends on who's leading it, which is Jackie. I don't really know what she wants yet. So I'm just here to answer any questions you have. Even small group. I will be collecting names, phone numbers, and then what night you will be available. We usually check it at night because it's easier, right? At time. But it's just like nice, like the rest of the night with you and like the girls. I just chatting. Okay, so yeah. Do you want to share the experience? I know some of these schools here. I've been in some.
Basically, it was really nice to get together and like be able to talk about your life and like know what's going on in your life and kind of like be around for you and like also have like
and then like you've never like opened the Bible or some relation to God is like brand new to you. It's also very well.
One more minute.
Thanks, Dad. I walked in like not even knowing. I was like, my friend's going, okay, cool. Bible study. We're gonna learn about what a Bible is. I've never opened one. I've seen one, but I don't really know what it is. So everybody there is really just helpful to about teachers. And also just hang out. And you can like ask any questions like Kate said. Just like general stuff. So I will pass it around. Put any phone number and the day that you're available. And you can possibly do like here's figure out and just like every day after 7. You can split the time
Grace, give us a minute, girl. You know us.
Hey guys, if you want to go ahead and start moving back to your seat, we're much appreciated. All the
Madison, liberal studies. Okay, we're going back. Do you know really what this is? There you go. So you're gonna have that here on.
Megan, senior psychology. Julia, senior English.
Victoria, third year, fashion
She's a fashionista.
Oh, I'll be a fourth year recreation parks and tourism department. Nonprofit management and administration.
Nonprofit.
Ya vas a ver ahí.
We'll get it around. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was at
young men, women, all the good stuff. We'd love to see you guys join us.
So now we're going to hear a few testimonies or stories from people who went to City Cruise, one of 3 winter conferences. So a person, or one of 2. So Destino and City Cruise Winter Conference come up together and share a little bit of what they learned and wanted to bring back to them.
This is Julia, and she went to Cruise Winter Conference.
What's winter conference for the new people who haven't been?
Winter Conference is a really cool thing. And actually, there's 3 different ones that we're going to have testimonies come up from. Destino is the Hispanic one-ish, and Evan is the Asian one, yes. And then Compassion is Cruise, like big one, all the stuff.
Hi, I'm Julia, H, not W. And I went to the Crew Winter Conference, and that was in San Diego. And the theme was compassion, and that was really very clearly highlighted throughout the weekend. Our very first speaker was D.A. Horton, and he had said that compassion fuels action. And that was kind of the foundation that was laid for the weekend, and everybody kind of referred to that. And our specific crew that was there, we teamed up with another campus crew, and on the day of compassion, which was the second day of conference, we went to a residential area in the Fullerton area, and we met up with a husband and wife who were missionaries down there. And they had put together these little like hygiene packs, so they had like deodorant and toothbrushes and stuff, and information about the local church. And we were going door to door and handing those to residents. And it was kind of just like a way to get a conversation going and offer just a free little gift to them, and then ask that you could pray over their home. And then after we prayed, if the conversation went further, like the goal was to, have a spiritual conversation. But my group, we were lucky if people answered the door. But still, it was a great just act of compassion from God and working through us, and that was really cool. And my takeaway from Winter Conference was a quote that was spoken by Candace Seibert, and she was my favorite speaker for the conference. And she had said that following God is humbling because we are not in control. And as a control freak, that was just a really good reminder that God has a beautiful plan for all of our lives, and it's our job to just follow faithfully. So I'm really excited to come back from conference and just continue following God with an open mind and an open heart.
And it turns out we don't have anyone from Epic that went tonight, but we do have one from Destino.
guys. Alright, so me and Gabby went to the casino because no one else wanted to follow us, you know. So this year the casino was in. This year the casino was in San Diego. The theme of the casino was the word rooted. So like to be rooted on the ground like a tree, sort of. So like how like one of the speakers explained the word rooted, or like the theme was how like the theme was rooted. It was like you have to like first start, plant your seed, then grow out with like God and build a community and connecting with others and being able to like water your tree, be able to like plant it and not just unique, not isolated from everyone else, but in like a community with other trees. So like the biggest example that I took from it was like your heart. Your heart's a seed, you could say. So like in order for your body to like move and functionate, is like it needs to like pump blood into like everywhere else. So it's like how you need to pump in, you say Jesus into yourself, you know. So in order to pump in Jesus, you need to like start like communicate with the people around you. So next time, if you guys can all come and follow us, we'll be trying to start a destino here in San Francisco State, which is, you can say for Latinos, but everyone is welcome. Trying to hopefully have it a little bit before W8 every Wednesday, maybe like half an hour to start off with. Do some sort of events, and hopefully have a destino here for the Latino population and everyone.
Definitely cool just to see like how many people from here went to wherever over the winter and like sacrificed a couple days to really just like be in community with each other and like basically intentionally like say like we are going to grow together like for the next 4 years. Yeah. Anyway, my name is Caleb. I'm an intern here in San Francisco. I grew up in Chico and went to community college there and then transferred to SFSU to study cinema, and I graduated. Yay! So this is my second year out of college. Yeah, so welcome to Crew. We want to welcome you and want you to know that we're glad you're here no matter where you're at on your spiritual journey. And tonight I just want to share just briefly, kind of what's on my heart as we go into this semester. And so for some of you, I feel like this semester is just like a lot of new things for a lot of us. For some people, it's your first semester at SF State, or this is your first Christian event that you've ever been to, or maybe you've been involved for a while and this is just the start of a new semester and you're wondering like, is this just going to be the same as it's always been? And for me, it's like whenever I start something new, I usually freak out a little bit. You start a new hobby, a new relationship, a job, you declare a major, and I just like ask myself, like, is this what I really want? Like, is this the best decision that I could be making? Maybe I just have commitment issues, but it is something that I ask myself a lot. Is like, is this what I want? And so my senior year of high school, I was very smart. I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. One of my teachers had us write a paper, and all we had was like the title, and we could do whatever we want with it. And it was entitled, "My Ideal Future." That was it. It was awesome. So I wish I had it to read it to you, but basically I'm gonna like give you a summary here. So, become a computer engineer, make tons of money, buy a house on a private island, make robots that do work for me. Then with my wealth, start producing and directing films. That's what I actually want to do. Become famous, get a super hot wife, have kids, and then give some money to charity. So I'm not kidding that like truly my senior year of high school was like, yeah, like this is what I want. Like this is what I need to be happy. And it sounds pretty great. But truly I am like thankful that when I started college I didn't pursue those things. And a lot of it was because I got involved with crew my freshman year. And like looking back on it, I'm glad that I didn't pursue those things, mainly because I had no idea like the root of what was motivating me to want those things. Those wants and dreams were coming from a deep need inside of me that I didn't know existed. Like I didn't know what was like causing me to want those things. I wasn't satisfied with my life, basically, and that paper I wrote was a picture of what I thought would satisfy me. I had the thirst for something more, something greater. So tonight we're going to look at the story of this woman in the Bible who also was thirsting for something more, and that is the woman at the well story. So I'm going to have Alexis read it for me. It's on the screen.
So Jesus left the Judean countryside and went back to Galilee. To get there, he had to pass through Samaria. He came into Sychar, a Samaritan village that bordered the field Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was still there. Jesus, worn out by the trip, sat down at the well. It was new. A woman, a Samaritan, came to draw water. Jesus said, "Will you give me a drink of water?" His disciples had gone to the village to buy food for lunch. The Samaritan woman, taken aback, asked, "How come you, a Jew, are asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" Jews in those days would be caught dead talking to Samaritans. Jesus answered, "If you knew the generosity of God and who I am, you would be asking me for a drink, and I would give you fresh living water." The woman said, "Sir, you don't even have a bucket to draw with, and this well is deep. So how are you going to get this living water? Are you a better man than our ancestor Jacob, who dug this well and drank from it, he and his sons and livestock, and passed it down to us?" Jesus said, "Everyone who drinks this water will get thirsty again and again. Anyone who drinks the water I will give never thirst, not ever. The water I give will be an artisan's spring within, gushing fountains of endless life." The woman said, "Sir, give me this water so I won't ever get thirsty, won't ever have to come back to this well again."
We're going to pause there, actually. So that was just part of it. We're going to get to the rest of it later. But so far, what's happened? Jesus starts this conversation with this girl who he's probably not supposed to talk to. He's a Jew, she's a Samaritan, and they didn't get along. And there's some weird dialogue about, you're getting water, I'm getting water, I'll give you water, you give me water. But basically, like what we're getting from this, also by the way, this is the Message translation. I looked up the story in a bunch of different translations, and I really liked this one. The simplicity and just like the realness of it. But basically we find out that this woman is thirsty. She's going to this well, she has a physical thirst. And Jesus, whenever Jesus meets her, he kind of knows like, okay, she's thirsty, but she's not just physically thirsty, she's like her soul is thirsty. When Jesus offers her something like a different kind of water, she's like, oh yeah, like I'd like to like have water in which I would never thirst again, and then I never have to walk through the desert to get to this well every day. And that's kind of, like we all have natural needs natural desires that are legitimate. Things like, not just physical things like food and water, but love, security, acceptance, respect. We want to matter, have a purpose. And when we don't have those things, that's when like the longing comes in, and we get thirsty, like those needs. Because instead of feeling those things, we have loneliness and discontent, and disrespect, fear of rejection, and that's kind of what those kind of like deep-rooted, like legitimate needs are what I was experiencing that senior year of high school. So let's keep reading and see how Jesus responds to her asking for that living water.
The woman said, "Sir, give me this water so I won't ever get thirsty, won't ever have to come back to this well again." He said, "Go call your husband and then come back." "I have no husband," she said. "That's nicely put. I have no husband. You've had 5 husbands, and the man you're living with now isn't even your husband. You spoke the truth there, sure enough."
Yikes. So she's asking for water, and Jesus is like, "Oh, just go get your husband and then come back." And Jesus basically like tells her, like, I know you've had like 5 husbands, and it's like why like she wants water. Why don't you give her water? Instead, you talk to her about her husband. Doesn't really make sense. But as I was thinking about it and heard sermons about this before, Jesus is basically like pointing out in her the problem in her life, the thing that she is searching for and seeking, the way that she's trying to find satisfaction. Jesus knows her problem. He points it out, and Jesus is basically saying, like, this isn't working. Like this is what isn't working in your life. You're trying to satisfy yourself in this way, and it's not working. So for me, that was like the things that I thought were going to fulfill me were an island, and money, and a hot wife, and fame, I guess. And I feel like there's so many things that, like, if Jesus were to come to us, like, what would we, instead of him, what would we be? Like, what are we doing to, like, fill that longing? And a lot of times it's accomplishment, making our parents proud, getting money, looking good, more muscle, less fat, achievement, power, so many things that we were like trying to fill ourselves with. But the reality is that the reason Jesus points this out is to help her realize when we try to find fulfillment and satisfaction in a dream or in any fill in the blank, those things, that's never going to be enough. We're never going to be satisfied. And he's trying to help her by doing this. So let's finish the passage with Jesus' response.
"Oh, so you're a prophet? Well, tell me this. Our ancestors worshipped God at this mountain, but you Jews insist that Jerusalem is the only place for worship, right? Believe me, woman, the time is coming when you Samaritans will worship the Father neither here at this mountain nor there in Jerusalem. You worship guessing in the dark. We Jews worship in the stellar light of day. God's way of salvation is made available through the Jews, but the time is coming. It has, in fact, come, when what you're called with will not matter, and where you go to worship will not matter. It's who you are and the way you live that count before God. Your worship must engage your spirit in the pursuit of truth. That's the kind of people the Father is out looking for. Those who are simply and honestly themselves before Him in their worship. God is sheer being itself, spirit. Those who worship Him must do it out of their very being, their spirits, their true selves in adoration. The woman said, I don't know about that. I do know that the Messiah is coming. When He arrives, we'll get the whole story. I am He, said Jesus. You don't have to wait any longer or look any further.
Sweet. So that's a little confusing. But basically, Jesus points out, or like starts talking about her husband, and then the woman is like, where are we supposed to worship? like trying to change the subject and talk about like the hot political issue of the day, of like, oh, you know, Jews, we worship here, and Samaritans worship there. And there's a lot of things that we could like look at, like worshiping in spirit and truth. But really, like at the end of the day, what we see here is Jesus bringing it back to like that doesn't matter. Like where you worship, like what mountain, all these things, it doesn't matter. I am He, said Jesus. Jesus is saying, like, I am the one that matters. Like I'm the only thing that you're going to need. And He brings it back to that satisfying thing. Like He says, like, oh, the Messiah, and Jesus basically says, like, I'm the Messiah. Like I'm the one you're waiting for, you're longing for. And He's saying, like, He is the only thing that will satisfy. And later on in the book of John, we find Jesus kind of share a little bit more about this. And that's John 7:37. Jesus tells the crowd, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. And I think this really summarizes what Jesus is telling the woman. Jesus is telling the woman, I know you're thirsty, you have a need, and the way you're trying to fix it isn't working. Come to me and you will be satisfied. And what I think is cool here is Jesus didn't say like, oh, like don't be thirsty. Just stop being thirsty. Like stop doing that. Stop doing bad things. Like he like acknowledged her need. Like no, you do have physical needs that are real and there. So he's not saying like just cut it out. He's saying you do need, you're gonna have that need, but don't try to satisfy it apart from me. Like I'm the only thing that's gonna satisfy that. And what Jesus is telling the woman, I think, still applies today to us as we're searching for, we're longing for things to satisfy us. And the reality is we have like a God-sized hole, a God-sized void in us. And when we try to, like our instinctually, our for some reason our choice is to like, oh, I'm going to fill that with a boyfriend. I'm going to fill that with a girlfriend. Accomplishment, grades, money. You name it, anything that satisfies you temporarily. And the reality is that nothing is going to fill that hole except for God. Jesus is the solution for the thirst of your soul. So in closing, I want to go back to the beginning and just look at what does Jesus do with this woman? If you can keep it. So Jesus is at the well, and his disciples go into town. And it's like, I wonder why Jesus didn't just go into town with his disciples. Jesus was waiting for her. Jesus knew her before she even arrived there. He knew her hurts and her needs. He knew her past and her mistakes. And yet he still loved her. And he still was waiting for her to offer this gift of living water. He did something, basically. He wanted his life to intersect with her life. And he gave her the opportunity to come to him and experience that living water. And so, yeah, I think that offer still stands for us now. If we think about the bigger picture of what Jesus did in coming to earth, Jesus didn't just, Jesus sees our longings and our needs and our pain and suffering. And Jesus didn't just stay up in heaven. It was like, oh man, that's a bummer. They're not doing it right. That's rough. He took an action. He came to us, to the earth, to suffer and die. He paid the penalty that we should have paid so that we could be in relationship with him, so that we could be satisfied. And so, yeah, Jesus sees our thirst and our need, and he came and died for us so that we can be satisfied. So what does that look like practically for us to come and drink? And I would answer that by saying, like, this is what Crew is about. This is why we're here. Like, we're here to experience the life and the living water that Jesus gives us. In the midst of the crazy San Francisco, there's so many things that we could try to satisfy our needs and our wants with. And in reality, it's like the living water that Jesus gives is so much better than my ideal future that I imagined in high school. When you experience the life that Jesus gives and that satisfaction, then nothing else compares. Like, whatever your greatest dreams are, like, they will look like nothing in comparison to like knowing and experiencing Jesus in your life. So my hope for this semester is that this semester would be centered around, if anyone thirsts, let him come to Jesus and drink. Like, let's experience God through community and through worship and through so many things that that Jesus tells us how to experience him in the Bible. So I'm going to pray, and then worship team can come on up. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for the people that you have brought to this room for a reason tonight. Thank you for just your power and your sovereignty in controlling every aspect of our lives. And thank you for waiting for us by the well, knowing us and loving us despite the things that we've done wrong. God, would you allow us this semester to taste your living water, to experience it, and would that purpose just get us so excited and passionate that nothing else even compares to it. Would our longings be fulfilled in you? So God, we thank you, and we just give you glory tonight. Amen.
Hey guys, it's our first time doing something like this, but I'm really excited. But before we just start, let's take some time just to quiet ourselves and just pray.